Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to calculate the prices of various type of credit market instruments and also calculate the yield to maturity for these different type of credit instruments. For asset pricing, we first need to know the flow of income that this asset generates. Now this flow of income could be a series of fixed payments or a share of the company's profits or just one lump sum payment at the time of maturity. In order to price this asset, I need to know the present value of all of these future cash flows. So with our simple example that we were using earlier, my cash flow received 1 year from now, I need to price it today. So classical theory of asset pricing is telling us that all I need to do to price this asset is calculate its present value today. So we discount the future cash flow over these number of time periods, and in this example I was just getting my cash flow after 1 year, so my number of years is just 1, and I'm using some discount rate. Discount rate should be associated with the risk associated with this investment. Higher the risk associated with this cash flow, higher will be the discount rate. Lower the risk associated with this cash flow, lower will be the discount rate. This present value becomes the price for this asset because for the purchaser of this asset, he is not willing to give up anything above what this present value is. It tells him or her the value or the worth of this income stream today. Next, let's define yield to maturity. Yield to maturity is the interest rate that equates the present value of your cash flow or the income stream that you're receiving from that instrument to the price of that asset today. So in our earlier example, we had a cash flow of CF and we had discounted it over 1 year. Now the interest rate at which this present value equals the price, that will be your yield to maturity or the internal rate of return. Remember that your yield to maturity or the interest rate does not necessarily indicate how good your investment is, because your rate of return from this asset may be very different from the yield to maturity on this asset. And this concept will become further clear as we move on with various type of credit market instruments. For this very simple loan example of 1 year time period, it's giving you cash flow of CF after 1 year. If I know the price today, I know the CF, I know the number of time periods, I can solve for my I, and that will give me my yield to maturity. I can isolate I from my above formula and calculate YTM or yield to maturity for this particular example. So let's isolate I. In order to do that, I take CF over P. So I've just cross multiplied over here. In order to get rid of the exponent n, I take both sides to the power 1 over n. And now in order to get rid of this one, my internal rate of return or yield to maturity for this simple loan is CF over P, which is your cash flow divided by the price today, or the whole thing raised to the power 1 over n minus 1. In our textbook, we will be discussing 4 particular type of credit market instruments. We'll be starting with our simple loan. We've already explored simple loan in our previous examples, but we'll look at yield to maturity specifically for this one. We'll look at fixed payment loans. We'll also look at discount bonds, coupon bonds, and a special case of a coupon bond, which is your console bond. In fact, I particularly like to discuss my console bond before I do coupon bond because the calculations over here are fairly simple. Also, we'll note that the simple bond and the discount bond have the exact same type of income stream. So if the income stream is identical, the formulas that will end up will also be exactly the same. So let's start with an example for a simple loan. If you are lending out $100 today and you're promised $110 in the future, what is the yield to maturity for this simple loan? So let's isolate the information. Present value or the amount borrowed is $100. Cash flow generated is 110 and the number of time periods associated over here is 1, and we need to calculate the yield to maturity. As we just did earlier, is your cash flow or future value divided by the price today. In our case, this will be the principal, 1 over n minus 1. So in our example, 110 divided by 100 is 10%. Your answer would have come out in decimal format, but we can express it as a percentage of 10%. So remember, your yield to maturity formula for a simple loan is quite straightforward, and we will stick to that for all type of simple loans, whether the time to maturity is 1 year, 2 year or 10 years. Your n will just change and overall we will still be working with the same standard formula. And remember, this formula was derived from our present value calculation for the future cash flow. Next, Mishkin talks about the fixed payment loan. Fixed payment loan is a loan that gives you the exact same cash flow payment every period throughout the lifetime period of the loan. So you can think of your mortgages as an example for a fixed payment loan. Let's look at the income stream generated by this type of loan. 1 year from now, it gives you a fixed payment. 2 years from now, it gives you the exact same fixed dollar payment. 3 years from now, and so on. And at the time of maturity, it is again giving you the fixed payment. So the borrower is giving these fixed payments to the lender against the amount that he borrowed today. So these are years from now, and this is your current time period or 0 time period. What would be the loan value? Loan value would again be equal to the discounted value of all of these future cash flows. In this case, because there are multiple cash flows, we will discount each one of them independently and then sum them up. So fixed payment discounted over 1 year, fixed payment discounted over 2 years, and so on. And your loan value is therefore the sum of the present value of all of these future cash flows. Fixed payments are going to pay back the interest plus the principal to the lender over the lifetime period of the loan or n number of years. Now, if this was just a loan made over 3 years or 5 years, these would be very simple calculations. However, if you have a loan which has a time to maturity of over 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, etc., you can realize that these calculations will become quite tedious. And that's why we can condense them into a formula which is stated below. Now, you don't need to know the mathematical proof of this formula. It is coming from when we have a finite sum of a series, we can condense it as below. Remember, FP is your fixed payment, I is the discount rate, N is the number of years, and LV is your loan value today. Let's do a quick example to understand the fixed payment loan. In this example, I can assume N to be 20 years. Let's assume as a borrower, you are paying back fixed payments of $100 every year, and the lender is discounting these at 10% interest rate. If I was to plug these values over here, $100 discounted over 1 year, $100 discounted over 2 years, and so on till the 20th year, actually 100, and we sum them all up, you will get your loan value today as $851.36. So what is this loan value telling us? That the lender will not be willing to lend out a penny above $851.36 today. This is the current loan value for this stipulated contract. This calculation, if you were doing it with me on a calculator, is going to take a lot of time, and that's why the usefulness of this formula appears, that we can quickly plug in one fixed payment, plug in our interest rate over here in decimal format. Remember 0.10 because we have an interest rate of 10% in this example, N is 20, and you'll again get the same number of $851.36. In most cases, however, your fixed payment loans will feature a contract in which you know the fixed payment, you know the loan value, you know the number of years until maturity, and now you want to calculate the yield. How do you calculate the yield? As you can see from our previous expression, isolating I is going to be a very complex problem, and it cannot be done very simply, and that's why we usually refer to our financial calculators, or you can use Excel to calculate the yield to maturity for a fixed payment loan, because we will not be able to isolate our yield to maturity. Now, alternatively, you could have a problem in which you know the loan value, you know the interest rate at which you're discounting it, you know the number of time periods to maturity, but you want to calculate the fixed payment. And this is a common problem that we see in mortgage contracts. People want to borrow some money in order to buy a house. They know the prevailing interest rate or the interest rate at which the bank is willing to lend them that money. They have some amortization period in time, and they now want to figure out what their fixed payment will be. And again, we can go back to our initial formula. We can isolate our fixed payment. So let me write our original formula over here. Loan value equals the present value of all of these fixed payments. If I isolate fixed payment, which is quite easy to do over here, I can take I over here, which becomes my new numerator, and this whole thing becomes my denominator. And there you have it, your formula for fixed payment loan. We can also rewrite it as this one over here below, 0, which is just the same expression but with a little bit of mathematical adjustments. So whichever one you prefer, you can use either of these formulas. They're both equally valid. In our homework assignments, I will be requiring you to use these formulas and not just punching in the numbers in your financial calculators. Let's do an example of a fixed payment loan in order to see why it is much simpler than what it seems to be. So in this example, we are assuming that you're borrowing $100,000 to buy a house, and this is a mortgage payment that you're going to be making over 20 years at 7% annual interest rate. So we are looking for our fixed payment, and I'm going to plug in the values over here. 100,000 times 0.07. So I have in the denominator 1 plus 0.07 raised to the power 20. You will get your annual payment for each of these 20 years as $9,439, and to be more specific, 29 cents. If the question is asking you to calculate your monthly payment, remember we have to have our years and our interest rate both in monthly format. Quick method to do that is just simply divide it by 12, and your N will become, instead of 20, it would be 20 times 12 because there are 12 months in each year. So substituting for these two respectively, wherever you have an I and N, you will get your monthly payment. This was your yearly payment and not monthly payment, okay? And we must do that because in this case, your interest would be compounded monthly and not annually. So if you were to just calculate the annual payment and divide it by 12, that would give you a wrong answer. Let's now use this example to calculate my monthly payment. So the loan value is $100,000, time is 20 years, and the annual interest rate is 7%. So the first step that we need to do is convert both N and I into monthly units. So my N is 20 times 12, that's 240 months. And my annual interest rate once converted into monthly interest rate is approximately 0.0058 or 58 basis points. Substituting my I and N respectively into the formula, wherever you see these two variables, you will get your monthly fixed payment. Don't forget to change your interest rate in the denominator as well over here, and I'm taking it to the power 240, and now using my calculator, it gives me the fixed monthly payment of approximately $772.90.